Right, friends, good evening. Welcome to this session that we have. Before we get started, some hygiene uh, check. We have a very reputed corporate India head who will be joining. So I really want all of you to be super well behaved, right? So when I say super well behaved, essentially, I'd be glad if you can keep your cameras on, right? So like Sakshi, it would be great if you can keep your cameras on. Yeah, everyone likes to speak with real faces. Number two, uh, we really want you to be on mute, right? If anyone has to ask any question, you raise your hand, and I will sort of run the coordinate the show, right? So that's how we will go. Okay. So just to put things in motion, what I'm going to do is put all of you on mute all right now. Okay, and and we will run this. But if anyone wants to say anything, you can raise your hand, and I'll unmute you right away. Anyone wants to say anything? Okay. So listen. By show of hands, if you can tell me how many of you have already submitted your ideas. Thumbs up, show of hands if you can show. Tell me how many of you have already put down your YI ideas. Rutvik has done already. Okay, Rutvik, thank you. Anyone else who has submitted their idea? Not yet. If not yet, then you have to do it fast. Mr. CP Gurnani will be joining in a few minutes. Yeah. But if you have any question right now, you can ask me your question. I can take any question for in the next 2 minutes. Any question if you have. Yeah, Anju, please unmute and ask your question. Can you unmute? Yeah.
Yeah, good evening, sir. I'm
Hi.
from Punjab, Firozpur. Just I
Right.
wanted to clarify one thing. Like
Yeah.
last year also, we had participated in Youth Ideathon. We have
Yeah.
submitted the idea also.
Yeah.
Just now, you had just suggested that we can submit our ideas till it is given 13th or 13th of August, or
Yeah.
before that we have to submit.
Yes. Yes. Before that.
Before that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the video pitch after that, or within that, with
The
that
video pitch
idea
is a
itself.
video pitch is a second stage, so that stage comes later.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Rutvik, can you ask your question? Please unmute and ask your question. Rutvik, ready? Can you unmute?
Sir, before the session, we had one session, right, sir?
Yeah,
Sir, can you send the number of the host, sir?
I will share. So don't worry. Whatever commitments are being made, we'll share. You have to bear with us for some time, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. Listen, who is going to do the blog for this session? I'm looking at least 3 bloggers because we will have some nice people. Sashank, Dev, okay. I'll remember your name. Sashank, you will do the blog. Okay. Anyone else who will do the blog for this session? Who is interested? We'll put the blog on Youth Ideathon website. Okay. My colleague Vandana, if you are there, Vandana. Vandana, you're coordinating with Mr. Gurnani's colleague?
Yes, yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes. He's
Okay.
joining in 2 minutes.
Got it. Okay. So I have a few questions. Sashank, you will do the blog for this today?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. And for the previous session, whoever attended, who will help us with the blog of previous session? Sohan Sahul's session. Anyone who attended previous session? Rutvik attended, right? Rutvik, can you help us with the blog of last session? Okay. Right, I am getting two questions. First question is, what time your session? We are going to start right now in a few minutes. In 2 minutes, we'll be starting with Mr. CP Gurnani, and you can submit your ideas till 14th August. Anyone else has any question? How many of you are the VIA interns here? If you can raise your hand, all VIA interns. I know Sakshi is there. Rutvik, yeah. Aishwarya, okay. Alipriya. So Keith is asking, where should we submit our ideas? Who can help this answer? Prashant Dev, can you answer this? Where can we submit the idea? Aranya, can you answer? Where to submit the idea?
Sir, I was asking that, sir, which ideas we have to submit and where?
So, on the website, www.youthideathon.in, there's a website and there's an idea submission form. You can submit ideas around, go to the website. And if you have any question, you can send a message. We'll respond. Okay.
Sir, so which ideas we have to submit there?
Any idea related to innovation or entrepreneurship. It can be about technology. It could be about glory of India. It could be about, various stuff, right? So,
Okay, sir.
okay. Yeah.
Next question.
Yeah, Shashank.
Yes, sir. I just want to ask when I have to submit the blog after this the meeting, or I can submit it after 2 or 3 hours before.
I can't hear you. Your voice is a little inaudible, right?
Hello, sir. Am I audible right now?
There is a lack of clarity, but yeah, go ahead. I'll try. Where should we submit idea? Rutvik has written. Can you all follow Rutvik's answer? Rutvik has written. I'm okay. I'm putting this with a bulb sign. Just give me a second. Bell sign. Okay, there's a link. That's the link. Okay. Sashank, you can send the blog to Vandana ma'am or to me or info@youthideathon, and we'll put, or just as a WhatsApp message, we'll put it there. Okay. Okay. Any other question, folks? If you have any question, you raise your hand and I'll come to you. We are right now waiting for Mr. Gurnani to sign in. Yes, Divisha, can you unmute and ask your question? Divisha, can you unmute and ask your question?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. I want to ask that this is my first session with you, and what all we have to do. I want to ask that.
Oh, uh, for this session, this is a learning session, and we have our guest, main speaker already here. He's joining in. I can see Mr. CP Gurnani has joined in. Can can I request Gurnani sir to switch on the camera, and yes, and also to unmute, sir, please. I'm making you co-host.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
So it's my privilege to be with you in the on the same frame with you. And we have right now 96 students and more will they are joining in. Yeah, we'll start in just 30 seconds, sir. Just give me a second. Just give me a
No problem. How do you like to be called, Mr. Shivesh?
not Mr. You can call me Shivesh.
Okay. As long as you call me CP.
I have the privilege of knowing one of your colleagues, CTL, who
CTL is in India these days.
got it. Yeah. So
So
CTL,
he's very much here, and I'm sure he'll be happy to know that, Shivesh, I have had the honor of working with you.
CTL likes me, and he has done, 2 years during COVID time. He did one session for us when he addressed on finding the North Star for all, but that was for all business people he did. But today we have a very special audience, and shall we begin, sir? I'll do a quick introduction of what we do and then introduce you to the audience then. Okay, friends, good evening. Welcome to this special session of Inspirational Leader Series at Youth Ideathon. We have one of the icons of Indian software industries. Many of you, in the last 24 hours, you would have researched about Mr. C.P. Gurnani, who is literally like a force build up and scale one of the largest Indian IT firms, Tech Mahindra. He signed off from Tech Mahindra maybe last year, and there is no stopping for him. And he quickly moved into his own startup called AionOS, and that is into IT and that is into IoT, Internet of Things, and AI. So that is the space where Mr. C.P. Gurnani is now working, where his calling has come. It's an entrepreneurial venture that he is doing. But CP, if I can call you CP, Youth Ideathon is now India's largest platform for school students, and I'm guessing that for the first time you may be heard by so many school students, because last year 1.5 lakh school students participated with their innovation ideas and projects, which all comes on this Youth Ideathon portal. So it's a multi-staged competition, and we really were seeking inspiration for someone as iconic as you to guide and think, and we really wanted to have a Q&A, question and answer kind of format, or the way you want. I have a few questions. Yeah, was I on mute, sir?
Yeah, now it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you all hear me, or did suddenly I got unmuted?
I think you got muted. So last few sentences people may not have heard.
Got it. So I'm just repeating. Yeah. So, dear students, I really want you to be asking your. Just give me a second. Someone. Listen, friends. If you have any questions, you can write down your question in the chat box, or you can raise your hand, and I'll make sure that you get opportunity to be heard by Mr. C.P. Gurnani and ask the question. Mr. Gurnani is, as I said, he's an icon in the field of Indian industry, in the field of software IT, and now he's set up his own venture called AionOS, which is into IoT, Internet of Things, and artificial intelligence. Now, I have first question from you, CP, and this question is basically around around, you had a hugely successful career in the corporate world, right? And after that hugely successful career, uh, what was the inspiration to start or embark your own entrepreneurial journey?
Shivesh, great question. Probably the first time I'm actually sharing what really happened. I turned 65 on 19th of December, and that was the day I chose to retire. My chairman, Mr. Anand Mahindra, asked me that typical retirement age is end of the month or end of the financial year. Why have you chosen 19th of December? And I told him, Anand, I want people to remember my birthday since I'm giving you almost 2 years' notice.
Yeah.
Uh, he said, oh, I can't argue with you on this, given you will retire on 19th of December. But that also means is that I announced my resignation to the public at least a year in advance.
Yes, I followed that, right? It
And
was.
that effectively means is that I had enough time to find a successor. I had enough time to look at what my new life would look like. Good news is that enough time gave me so many options that I decided I'd received an award for being an entrepreneur of the year from ENY. And I genuinely felt that I was a corporate entrepreneur. I was never a real entrepreneur. So I think I should become a real entrepreneur. So it was high on my bucket list. I'm very happy that I have Interglobe Enterprises as my partner. They are the majority shareholders, but nevertheless, it's the first time in my life I'm putting money where my mouth is. And during that 1.5 years, I don't know how many of you know a gentleman called Ritesh Agarwal.
Yes.
Ritesh Agarwal grew up in the same state where I studied. He grew up in Odisha, I studied in Odisha. And I frankly always said that Ritesh, you are my role model. It was also a year when, while I was waiting for my retirement, 2023, he got married to Gitanjali, a beautiful girl. And I did smile to myself and basically said, Ritesh, you did it when you were less than 20. I will do it when I'm more than 65. But I'm still young. You are also very young, and I want to be the, the pioneer at 65. I want to be an entrepreneur at 65. So, guys, the story only says is my role model was Ritesh. You are the young people, you are the youth, and whatever decision you take in life, you don't have to wait till 65.
CP, this is phenomenal, right? And I was a little apprehensive of asking or saying 65, but and that you said, and that's inspirational stuff. That most people, they hang up their boots at 60, 58, 62, whatever number you want to put. And here at 65, you are saying that no, I'm going to put I'm going to take the biggest risk of my life and get into an entrepreneurial journey. Now, the question which is coming to my mind, and the example that you gave of Ritesh and you as yourself, and we have this a lot of young students out there. What do you think if someone is really young, and you have seen a lot, right? A lot of experience. If someone is really young and when they are starting or thinking about innovation or entrepreneurship, how should they prepare, or what are the mistakes that they do that you have seen very often?
So, Shivesh, I'm assuming many of the people on this forum understand a word called panga.
Yeah. They do.
So my point of whenever I think of entrepreneurship, which includes me as a 65-year-old entrepreneur, it is always one only thought that comes to me is Pangalele. Now, for those
Pangalelia.
who do not understand Hindi, and this is a very native Hindi, so this really means dare to be a doer. Dare to dream and make it happen. That's really what it means. So I personally believe that it is that spirit of dare to be a doer or Pangalele is what I would like youth to remember. That means if you don't jump into the water, you don't learn swimming. If you do not get into practicing what your ideas are, you will never build a business. I mean, go back into history of India. And I'm sure everybody has read enough stories about it. There is this area in Rajasthan called Sikar.
Yeah.
There is this area called Junjunu.
Yes.
Now, this area, all the Birlas and the Bajajes or the Goenkas or the Ruyas, they all came from that town. And
Interesting.
if you go back into their histories, they all migrated from that small town. Now, today it takes only 2 hours to get to Sikar from Jaipur. But remember, those days it used to take days. Now, this spirit of dare to be a doer took them to various parts of the world. When you talk to Ruyas, they went to Chennai.
Yeah.
The SR group, Ruyas, went to Chennai. And the Birlas went to Calcutta. The Goenkas went to Calcutta. So my point is different people. Some went to Bombay, some went to some other place. The point is an opportunity when they knock on your door, and when you look at some of those opportunities and you decide that I will get out of my comfort zone. It is not that those guys wouldn't have got food in their seeker villages, or they wouldn't have got water in their Junjunu villages. They stepped out because they always wanted to discover a new world. And
Yeah.
that entrepreneurship, that desire to be different, that desire to achieve goals, make somebody climb a Mount Everest, make somebody swim an English Channel, make somebody swim from Cuba to Miami.
Yeah.
That spirit, which makes a Virat Kohli get up at 4 a.m. in the morning and practice till every bone on his body starts complaining. So, as long as we can know what our passion is and we want to be an achiever, we want to work hard, and we want to build a team, I think you are already an entrepreneur and I salute you.
Fantastic. You have explained it so lucidly. In fact, CP, yesterday I came across Sam Altman's tweet, and he used, because you used the word panga, he used raw horsepower. He said self-belief, optimism, raw horsepower can make anyone do anything. Right. And you are saying it in a similar, in more native language. Tell me something. While I know that you have been a doyen in IT world, why this whole your new venture, Aeon OS, is focusing on IoT and AI? What's going on? You could have done anything. You could have.
So, Shivesh, and I'm sure young friends of mine on this call would remember I dared Sam Altman.
Yes.
Sam Altman, in a public forum, gave an impression that India could not develop its own LLM.
Yeah.
And
He said
I
it's
simply
you already lost the race. Something of that sort he said.
I simply said challenge accepted. Now, I am not saying, I'm very clear. I stand tall today because I stand on the shoulders of some very strong and brave people. But the fact is that I took on Sam Altman, my team, that time at Tech Mahindra, led by a gentleman called Nikhil Malhotra, backed me up. And we built an AI tool, an AI LLM, which was multiple languages, multiple dialects of India. Now, that obviously made me interested in saying, what is the opportunity in the Indian IT sector? I think what started as a Pangalele with Sam Altman has become a battle cry. It is AI on OS, artificial intelligence, and heart of it is an OS which is AI enabled. And though Ionos as a Greek word means everlasting, but reality is we decided that we want to build an AI native company, start with the word AI. And today I am proud that I have 100 plus best data scientists, best IoT specialists, best AI engineers in the world. And we are looking at solutions for airline industry, travel industry, logistics industry, and hotels, hospitality industry. So I am excited. And ultimately, that is the passion which keeps me going.
Fantastic, CP. And this is something off the script kind of question, but I really want to have the best from this occasion right now. So I heard one of your interviews on Internshala, and where you posed this challenge, if you remember, that if you can give me any ideas on this, would you like to pose that challenge to our folks here also?
I mean, okay, so why don't we do one better, Shivesh?
Yeah.
The Internshala challenge was anybody who wants to intern with me, if he has got an idea, I'm willing to back it up. I will put all my money and resources behind it as long as that idea is accepted. And so we had a jury. They've selected the 3 ideas. They are now in conversations for those interns to work with us. Since you are the youth ideation group, my belief is it should be one step further. That means if a Ritesh can start a business who grew up in Odisha, who never actually finished graduation that time, and created a chain of Oyo hotels where his footprint in India is only one part, he created a global company. So my point is very simple, that any one of you who sees a discontinuity in travel, logistics, hospitality sector, I would like to at least fund one,
So I have. Thank you, CP, for this. And I really, I can promise you, because we are doing this for the last 3 years, and I can promise you these students, they are brave. They are able to do things. And on around for second week of October, I'm going to send you some nice 10 ideas to be looking at to you and your team from this cohort.
I mean, I'm just putting my mail ID here so that anybody who wants to send me ideas through you or directly, please go ahead.
Fantastic. So boys and girls, look, this is one of the momentous occasions. Again, what Mr. CP Gurnani is saying, that if you have any bold, brave idea around travel, tourism, logistics, hospitality, aviation, he is going to be he said that he's going to support one idea if it fits through all the filters and criteria that his team selects. And this is great, right? And this is the purpose of Youth Ideathon. And we really want you to be shining. I really want you to keep my head at the right place. This is the plea to all the students. CP, I'm coming back to you. And the question is, you have seen one hugely successful corporate career. Now you are building an entrepreneurial venture. How do you see these two careers different?
So, honest answer is my best and the most favorite book is Extreme Ownership. This is a book that was written by ex-US Navy SEALs, and they are the ones, help me practice what I call ownership. And it didn't matter whether I was doing HCL or whether I was doing HCL Pero Systems, or when I was doing Mahindra British Telecom, which later became Tech Mahindra. I always believed in extreme ownership. So to me, there is no difference in corporate entrepreneurship and personal entrepreneurship. And all I'm again repeating is that as long as you believe in extreme ownership, you do not need any other crutches. All it boils down to few facts. It's all right to fail. It is all right to have a culture where it is all right to fail. Have a culture that it is not how many times you fail, it is how many times you get up and fight. Number two is, as long as you respect, you practice your values, and you are still able to dream big with open eyes, then you are always an entrepreneur. So I think I was an entrepreneur, I am an entrepreneur, and I will, hopefully, I wish somebody had given me wings when I was 18, when I was 20, when I was 17, like you guys, because I think the world around us has changed in this 45 years, and you have a chance to gain those wings. And wherever I can help and assist, I will definitely assist. I'm not able to send my mail ID. I put it on the chat. I know some of you are asking me what my mail ID is. I put it on the chat. I'm not able to send the mail.
I'm not sure why there's a message, something is deleted, but I will have it sent across to students because we are also part of a WhatsApp community with all these students. I'll have it sent across to them, to all the students. Now, CP, I have a very, you spoke about two things, this Navy SEAL thing called extreme ownership. And when I was listening to you, the word which was coming to me was himmat, right? How do you grow so much of himmat?
I think all of you are gifted. All the youth and the people who come at such a short notice. I gave to my good friend Ruby Sinha this slot only 48 hours ago. In 48 hours, if 150 of you have joined, I can only say is that you have a desire to win. You want to learn. You are adaptable. You have willingness to experiment. I think that is himmat. As long as you know that to climb Mount Everest, you will have to take one step at a time. You will have to dream and sleep. I have to climb Mount Everest.
Wow.
You cannot sit in your house and say, I will climb Mount Everest. So
Wow.
I think you all have demonstrated that himmat, not because I am a tough guy. I am a simple guy, small town guy who was willing to get up at 4 o'clock because I wanted to dream with my eyes open.
Wow. Wow. So listen, students, I think this is a very solid message, a very solid, the best message, perhaps, right? You have to keep dreaming. If you are dreaming things, then dream it with open eyes and do everything in your whatever is possible, whatever you can think of to make those dreams possible. So, CP, I have another question from you, and this is to do with the audience that we have. In today's world, as you see, and there can be many answers that I also understand, but in today's world, how can teenage student identify innovation stroke entrepreneurship opportunities?
So, I don't know whether there is a formula.
Right.
Must be a formula somewhere. Nobody
I also don't know
nobody gave me that cup syrup, so I don't know.
Right.
But look at it around you. Somebody thought about a wireless phone.
Yes.
Somebody thought about a 10-minute delivery called Blinkit.
Right.
Somebody thought about copying a pizza house, a Pizza Hut or a Domino's, and converting it into a business called Zomato or Swiggy. Somebody thought about, if there are people going to live in apartment buildings, can I give them an application called My Gate?
Right.
So my point is, whether it is a marketplace, one of my close friends is a guy who runs Make My Trip called Deep Kalra.
Yeah.
Now, Deep was not the first guy who set up a travel OTA platform.
Right.
I mean, there were people in America who did it. Expedia, Travelocity, whatever.
It was
But
all
he
there.
decided that he will do it in India.
Yeah.
Remember, India labor is cheap.
Yes.
But he still decided that he will do it in India. And today he is so successful. So my submission to all of you is that there is always something happening around you, which when you talk to yourself, you think you can do it better. Or you can do it at much lesser cost. There are only three ways to innovate. Number one is cost leadership. Number two is, R&D leadership. Or number third is what I call as execution leadership.
Right.
Either you say how I can reduce a cost in a particular operation. The cost leadership is Indigo.
Yes.
Turn around an asset in 25 minutes. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Earlier, it would take out 1.5 hours for every plane to turn around.
Right? I mean, a
Yeah.
large asset, you turn around in 25 minutes, unloading, loading, luggage, food, everything. Now, that is cost leadership to me. Execution leadership is Blinkit. 10
Yeah.
minutes, dark stores, ghost stores, whatever you want to call them, around a community of houses, anticipating what my next requirement would be and being able to reduce the processes to so little that they can deliver it to you in 10 minutes. R&D leadership to me is that Digi Yatra that you see on the airports now.
Yes.
I mean, your face is your identity. I mean, I am visualizing it that tomorrow you won't need a passport. I am visualizing it that your face would be recognized as at every immigration counter. You won't need a paper. Now that is R&D leadership. So as long as we are looking for discontinuities and we are always questioning, remember all three require questioning. Why does it take 1 hour? Why can't I deliver why does it Amazon take 24 hours to deliver? The moment you start solving that equation, you are the smartest one.
Wonderful. And, the way you said, it really starts clarifying stuff. You said your face is the identity, and a simple line creates a lot of opportunities, or it starts showing you how many discontinuities are there, and then forces you to solve or nudges you to solve problems. So great example, CP. Boys and girls, I'm going to my last question, but if you have any question, I urge you to put your question in the chat box right now or raise your hand. We'll have 3 or 4 students ask this question. But my last question, CP, is again for these students. What one you have already said, but again, I'm putting the question: what are the key skills or qualities that young students like you have here should develop to be successful or to be a good entrepreneur innovator? One, you said curiosity.
So, entrepreneurship by definition means you are an extraordinary sportsman. And sportsman here does not mean you are a hockey player or a table tennis player. It only shows that you are competitive, you respect the rules of the game, and you are willing to find a coach which will bring out the best talent in you. So as long as you remember, whether you see a badminton academy of Gopi Chand in Hyderabad,
Yes.
or whether you see there is always the coaches have a role to play, whether it is Gopi Chand, whether it is the parents, or whether it is that 4 a.m. start when others were sleeping. So my request is, you are now going to be a corporate sportsman, you are going to be an entrepreneur sportsman. Your initiative, your hard work, your analytics. A sportsman also goes back and looks at the videotapes of where others are doing things differently, where they can do things differently. Like when Surya Kumar Yadav took that catch in the final, Prime Minister Modi asked him, did you practice for this moment? And he said, hundreds of times, sir.
Wow.
So my point is very simple, that think like a sportsman, work like a sportsman, and more importantly is be willing to take a plunge.
Fantastic. Great example, CP. Can I ask Sakshi to unmute and ask the question? Sakshi from APS Meerut.
Good evening, sir. Am I audible?
Yes.
Good evening, sir. It's been an honor to have a conversation with you. I'm Shakshi, a student of grade 12 from Army School, Meerut Kant. Sir, yesterday I was reading one interview of yours in the business world where you mentioned that marry an individual, marry an idea, and marry a team. Could you please elaborate on that? That how that statement is going to help the students like us who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs in the future?
Again, Sakshi, thank you. And at your age, I wish I had even that level of questioning power. So congratulations, you are far, far better and superior than me. Think about it for a minute. Forget everything else. Are there basic questions like, Sakshi, do you understand yourself? Sakshi, do you know your strengths and weaknesses? Sakshi, if you know your strengths and weaknesses, are you willing to work only on your strengths and allow the weaknesses to become less powerful? The why I'm asking this question is, it's not entrepreneurship. It's an achiever syndrome that you want to activate. It is that achiever's method of working that differentiates you. So again, giving you an example, a Sunil Bharti Mittal was born in a reasonably wealthy family. His father was a MLA, MP, minister. Now, Sunil Bharti Mittal started by distributing telephone, the push button telephone, those 1 to 9 that you used to see. They were electronics. But within the telephones, he saw an opportunity and he ended up becoming an Airtel. And Airtel fought a Jio. Now, my point is, He knew himself that at heart he is a business builder. At heart he is a risk taker. At heart he sees an opportunity and he goes after it. At heart he is willing to emulate somebody who is called an AT&T in their parts of the world, and has self-belief that he can become an AT&T of India. So that is one less said. Second person in the same situation would say, I'm happy having a sports goods store in Meerut. I will get respect. People will come to me. I will open my shop at 9 a.m. I'll close at 9 p.m. I'll be working hard for 12 hours and I'll build relationships and I'll create more MS Dhonis out of Meerut. I don't want to become a global player like Sunil Bharti Mittal or Dhirubhai Ambani or now Mukesh Ambani. So knowing your own aspirations is equally important. Entrepreneurship doesn't tell you that everybody has to become Dhirubhai Ambani. A Kalyan jeweler or an auto dealership is also entrepreneurship.
Of course.
So I know
Knowing yourself matters.
this could have many answers. All I'm again saying is know your own strengths, find the right coaches, and decide what you want to achieve. I have never met anybody at your age up till now who writes their own goals. I'm asking you to write your own goals first.
Wow. No, we'll get this done, CP, with all these students when we reach, the second stage is when we work with top 1,500 teams in India. We'll get these goals written by everyone. I take that as one of your good advice, which should be implemented. Okay, Sashank, very quickly, can you ask your question? Sashank Dev. CP, you have time, we can take two, one from Sashank and one from Preeksha.
Yeah, good, Mr. Dev.
Yeah, Sashank, go ahead.
Sashank, you
Sashank,
are
you are not audible.
Your voice is coming from a cloud.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I can't hear you properly.
Am I audible right now, sir?
Sashank, can you adjust your mic? I'm moving to Preeksha. You can write your question. We'll ask your question on your behalf. Preeksha, can you unmute and ask your question? Preeksha Mahindra, yeah, go ahead.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir. So my question was that how do you actually find ideas that are worth executing? It's like, how do you find problems to solve and then you start executing it?
Preksha, again, as I said, if you write down your mission or goals, that will be the first step. So let's take a simple example in life. You want to go from Delhi to Kanyakumari, or like what the kids do today, they go from Kanyakumari to Leh. I mean, I don't know how many times you have noticed there are these motorcyclists who go all the way. Now, my point is that if your goal is clear, Kanyakumari to Leh, then you will say whether I want to go by air, whether I go by motorcycle. If I go by motorcycle, what clothes do I need? Why do I need the leather jackets, and so on and so forth. So that is number one. So ideas means you have few ideas, you want to create the best option for you. Like Kanyakumari to Leh, you had many options, you took one option, which is, let us say, bike. The second part is sometimes, it is very easy to put it into a methodology. The methodology is, I call it as, and since you guys are here for youth ideation, being a copycat is not a problem. Being a copycat, an Ola is a copy of Uber. A Blue Smart is a copy of Uber. But now go and see the difference. One guy decided that I should include auto rickshaws. The other guy said, Blue Smart said, so like my office colleagues all use Blue Smart. Why? Because it is all electric, it is relatively newer cars, and it is relatively, because it is electric and newer cars, they feel it is responsible citizenship. So my point is again very clear that it is not a new idea. Uber copied the taxis.
Yeah.
So it is an idea which has been executed better and better over a period of time.
Execution leadership, what you mentioned, right? Cost leadership, R&D leadership, and execution leadership. And Priksha, hope that answers. Sanjana, would you unmute and ask your question?
Yeah, Sanjana, you have to unmute.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
am I audible?
Yes.
So, hi, sir, I'm Sanjana from Chennai. So, how different do you think your company AionOS is or should be so that Tech Mahindra itself doesn't become a competitor for it? Even in general, as you know, like already established companies, they cause a huge challenge and competition to relatively newer companies. So, how can these new companies actually stand out?
I'm not saying that Tech Mahindra, Infosys, TCS, Accenture will not compete. They are very smart people. They are amazingly talented, driven people. Now, the word in my company is garage versus process leadership. So let's take the famous examples. The famous examples is that the automobile industry of America used to be out of one city called Detroit.
Right.
Now there comes in a guy from South Africa called Elon Musk. He creates a company in California, not even California, it was in the Bay Area, where he sets up one of the biggest plants, which is not in US. It is the most expensive real estate. And if the life is expensive, the people cost is expensive. But what did he focus on? Bay Area is equal to good universities is equal to good talent pool is equal to innovation, and hence I will compete. And the reality is that he has competed and he has forced Detroit to take a rebirth. So I can only give you examples, but the reality is that every time you are a challenger, IONOS is a challenger. IONOS is not a copycat of a TCS or Infosys or an Accenture. And if I am a challenger, I will succeed better than anyone else.
So, Sanjana, I don't know whether CP has said the way I understood, and I really want to say it is AI on OS, right? So it is AI on OS. So the vision, if I have to make the vision, it's like you are building AI on the operating system, right? And if someone is trying to do so, it's a mammoth project and it's a huge differentiator. If someone really wants to put the heart, energy, and soul of CP, something really wonderful is going to happen. This is what maybe NVIDIA is doing on the hardware side, he's doing on the OS, right? Does that fit my understanding well, CP, if I understood?
Wonderful, Jivesh. I mean, you are a brand ambassador.
Right. Thanks. Okay. We have a young boy, Sachin Sharma. Can you ask?
Shashank's question.
Sashank, can you ask Sashank, please? Unmute, Sashank.
Yeah, hello sir. Am I audible right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir, for the opportunity again. I'm super excited to talk to you, sir. I have a course I have any idea, but I can't decide which to work of and eventually I end up doing a lot of things together and mess it up. And so, how you manage your idea and how you give your idea priority so that it work in a well managed way?
I mean, I couldn't understand, Shashank, your question fully, but I'm assuming I answered this question in the past also. How do you manage your ideas? How do you prioritize on your ideas? And number three is, how do you execute on your ideas? Is that a question?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I thought so.
Okay, so Shashank, I wish there was an easy process. Some people are born geniuses. A Mahatma Gandhi was a genius that I will fight an independence movement without picking up a sword, without picking up a gun. Right? It was a new
Yes, sir.
idea. Non-violence as a way to fight an independence movement. Think about it. It was absolutely unique and it was an idea. Similarly, when a Mukesh Ambani put up an idea of setting up the world's largest refinery in Jamnagar, trust me, I, as a chemical engineer, went to Jamnagar. I said, Jamnagar is not close to the market. Jamnagar does not produce any gas. Where is he going to set up? Why is he setting up a refinery on one extreme corner of Gujarat? I asked the people there. They said, think about it. You are assuming we are setting up a refinery for India. We are actually setting up a refinery for the global markets. Our differentiator is that we can take a high sulfur crude and refine it. And a ship used to come in with a high sulfur crude. It used to be pumped to the refinery. Refinery will in turn send their refined petrol or refined, whatever oil, diesel or whichever, and it will send it to Hong Kong. Crude came from Venezuela, crude came from Iran, Russia, Saudi Arabia, it didn't matter. But it was a dirty crude. So my point is, when when you think of ideas, it all depends on what that idea is. What is it that you are trying to add value? It could be an air purifier, which is solving a problem, or it could be a wireless phone or a mobile phone, which is adding value to you, or it could be a new kind of a writing paper that is solving some other problem. The point is very simple. There is no one method. The method is talk to yourself. If you are convinced, if you are passionate, try it. If you fail, no problem. Get up again and fight.
Right, fantastic, CP. Folks, I think with this, we have already spent, we never realized we have spent an hour. We had only asked for 30 minutes and we have really, in flow, he was kind enough to keep going on and with wonderful answers. But CP, we absolutely loved it. Ruby will be the connecting point, and we are going to come back to you in the second week of October with all the nice things that these students have done, and I'm sure something is going to come your way, right? Lovely explanation of things. I am enthused by your spirit of going on. Panga lena hai or rukna nahi hai, and that spirit is something that all of us, I really want every student should build, because sometimes personalities, they just talk to you. And right now, CP was talking to all of you, and he's saying, don't lose your himmat at any point of time. Chase your best dreams. Follow this 4 a.m. habit. Keep working on it, and all of you are going to shine. You have already you made a big cut by being here. So with this, we call it a day. Can I clap for your presence, CP? Thank you very much for your kind presence here.
Thank you.
Thanks. We can log off. Right, boys and girls, before we sign off, one last moment from all of you. Who is going to do the blogs for me? I'm going to remove all spotlights first and all hands down for a moment. Sachin, I'm very sorry you couldn't get a chance, but hard luck, man. You will get chance at some other on some other occasion. But I'm looking for people who are going to do blogs on this lovely interaction. Who wants to vouch? Sashank has said Hita Sharma, Vaibhavi Agarwal. Okay, Sashank Dev, Hita, and Vaibhavi, and Sachin. Sachin, you'll do the blog also.
Hello.
Yeah, Vandana.
But yeah.
Yeah. So, so with this, we call it a day. Listen, boys and girls, I have an important announcement. Tomorrow we have another star speaker. Anyone knows who's going to come tomorrow? Hey, come on! You're not watching our social media posts then. You know this company called Policy Bazaar, right? The founder of Policy Bazaar is going to be there tomorrow, and he's also done an Iron Man. He is not only a founder, he is also an Iron Man winner. So, so we're going to have fun tomorrow, same time. Log into Zoom. Wait for all the check our social handles for the what do you call registration links and everything, and we'll enjoy tomorrow. Okay. People who couldn't get chance today will get chance tomorrow. We are going to continue this fun for at least another 2-3 weeks till the time your idea submission box closes, right? So good luck, enjoy, bye-bye.